Two juveniles were charged Friday in connection with the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade shooting that left one woman dead and 22 other people injured. The suspects were not named because of their ages and are facing gun-related and resisting arrest charges and are being held in a juvenile detention center. More charges are anticipated as the investigation moves forward. The shooting occurred on the west side of Kansas City's landmark Union Station. Police Chief Stacey Graves said Thursday that 3 people had been detained. She said authorities still had time to decide on either charging or releasing the suspects. A third juvenile that officials determined was not involved was released. Graves confirmed that one woman who was killed while 22 other individuals were injured, at least half of whom are under the age of 16. Graves confirmed the identity of the woman killed during the parade. She was previously identified as Lisa Lopez Galvin, a radio DJ for KKFI 90.1 FM, and the station confirmed that she had been killed, saying, quote, "It is with sincere sadness and an extreme heavy and broken heart that we let our community know that DJ Lisa Lopez lost her life today in the shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs rally. The shooting is not believed to be related to terrorism, but rather a dispute between several people that ended in gunfire," according to Graves. The chief also said that several fans helped apprehend one of the suspected shooters. At least 9 of the children injured in the shooting have made a full recovery and have since been released from the hospital. Graves said law enforcement acted quickly to prevent further harm, saying, quote, "I'm angered by what occurred in our city, but also thankful for the response." Jacob Gooch Sr., who was at the parade with his wife and children, was shot in the ankle and was interviewed by CBS Mornings and spoke about his harrowing experience at what was supposed to be a celebratory event that devolved into chaos. And now, it's been recently reported that Alex Murdaugh has been ordered to pay $1.8 million to the victims of a boat crash. A South Carolina court ordered Alex Murdaugh to pay nearly $1.8 million to 16 different parties, including the victims of a 2019 boat crash that left his son's teenage friend dead. Court-appointed special referee Walt Tollison said in a court order that after all claimants' legal fees are paid, Murdaugh's remaining assets shall be divided up among 9 of the 16 plaintiffs, with 24% going to Renee Beach, the mother of the late Mallory Beach, who died aboard the Murdaugh family's boat in a 2018 crash when she was 19 years old. Excuse me. Tollison wrote, quote, "Of course, the special referee is mindful of the amount and degree of hurt and devastation caused by the actions of Alex Murdaugh to the claimants in this matter and beyond. In a perfect world, there would be unlimited funds." Mark Tinsley, an attorney representing the Beach family and other boat crash victims, echoed this sentiment. For the Beach family specifically, Tinsley said it was never about the money, but accountability for what happened to their daughter on the Murdaugh family boat more than 5 years ago. The late Paul Murdaugh had taken 5 of his friends out on his family's boat on the evening of February 23, 2019. He used his older brother's Buster's ID to purchase alcohol for the group before they set off into dark waters. Paul drove the boat inebriated despite his friends' pleas to stop, and he eventually crashed into Archers Creek Bridge in Beaufort on the South Carolina coast. The accident left several friends injured, and Mallory, who had been sitting in the back of the boat, was thrown into the water. She was missing for more than a week until boaters found her body in the water. Among the other 9 plaintiffs receiving a portion of Murdaugh's remaining assets are Miley Altman at 5%, Mallory's friend and a boat crash victim, Morgan Doty, 11%, close friend of both, and a boat crash victim, Arthur Badger, 24%, the husband of Donna Badger, a victim of Murdaugh's financial crimes after she died in a car crash, and others. Tollison described the decision to determine the allocation of remaining funds as difficult, noting that some claimants injured by Alex Murdaugh have already received more, in some cases substantially more, than their loss. The family of Gloria Satterfield, Murdaugh's deceased housekeeper, who were victimized by Murdaugh's financial schemes, were listed as claimants but did not receive a portion of the disgraced attorney's remaining assets. Their attorney, Eric Bland, noted his disappointment in the decision in a Monday post on Twitter, saying, quote, "So as of today, the Satterfields have recovered over $7.5 million from 5 or so sources or parties and individuals other than Alex Murdaugh. To date, Alex Murdaugh has paid $0 towards the approximate $3.5 million he stole from the Satterfields." Tinsley said it was a difficult task for the court to obtain the funds and then determine how they would be distributed among claimants. Murdaugh was sentenced in March to 2 life terms for fatally shooting his 52-year-old wife Maggie Murdaugh and his son Paul Murdaugh in June 2021. Prosecutors argued that he killed his wife and son in an attempt to distract from his mounting financial crimes, which were beginning to come to light around that time. Murdaugh was also sentenced to 27 years in November for his financial crimes and pleaded guilty to 22 counts, including breach of trust, money laundering, forgery, and tax evasion. Out of about 100 total counts, totaling as much as $10 million in exchange for the 27-year prison sentence. Murdaugh previously pleaded guilty to 22 counts of financial fraud and money laundering in federal court. Now on to our next topic. Dating Masterson has been denied bail, pending appeal due to fears that the actor would run. Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Charlene Omido said that 70-star alum 47 will likely remain in custody for decades and perhaps the rest of his life if the defendant's conviction sentence are upheld on appeal. Per the order, Omido cited Masterson's ongoing divorce from his wife as a factor in the court's decision. Masterson's new lawyers, Clifford Gardner and Eric Multhorpe, have not commented on this recent development. Omido's move to deny the actor bail comes after a hearing at the downtown L.A. Claire Shortridge Foltz Criminal Justice Center for Masterson's potential appeal. Masterson's new lawyers, Clifford and Eric, filed a motion on January 17th requesting that, quote, his court grant bail on appeal and offers to comply with any relevant terms and conditions imposed by the court that enable him to be an at-home parent and financial provider for his family, including house arrest and or participation in an electric monitoring program administered by the probation department. In May 2023, Masterson was found guilty on 2 counts of rape after he was charged in 2020 with forcibly raping 3 women in separate incidents between 2001 and 2003. Jurors deliberated for over 7 days, with a 3rd count of rape being resulted in a hung jury. Upon receiving his verdict, the ranch actor did not register much of a reaction, though his family members were fighting back tears. Phillips began to cry. Several months after his conviction, Masterson was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison for his crimes. In a court sketch, the actor was seen blowing a kiss to Phillips or being led away to his cell. Phillips filed for divorce from the actor later that month, citing irreconcilable differences as the reason for their split after nearly 12 years of marriage. Now on to one of the biggest stories of the week. Former parenting YouTuber Ruby Franke and ex-business partner have been sentenced to prison for child abuse. After the 12-year-old Utah boy tried to run away in July, his mother, vlogger Ruby Franke, bound his hands and feet with 2 sets of handcuffs. The momfluencer further admitted in a 10-page plea agreement that she had kicked her son Russell, held his head underwater, and covered his mouth and nose with her hands so he could not breathe. On Tuesday, Ruby was sentenced to 40 to 60 years behind bars for child abuse. Her ex-business partner, Jody Hildenbrandt, was also sentenced to 40 to 60 years, after they both pleaded guilty to 4 counts of aggravated child abuse. Both women signed plea agreements to the 4 second-degree felonies in December, acknowledging their roles in the abuse and relinquishing their rights to appeal their convictions. Under the agreement, 2 more charges of aggravated child abuse for each woman were dropped. At a December hearing in which Ruby, cuffed and dressed in gray and white prison garb, pleaded guilty to the remaining charges, she paused on the 4th charge. Taking a deep breath, she shut her eyes and said, "My deepest regret and sorrow for my family and my children, guilty." Around that time, The firm representing her, Windward Law, issued a statement to CBS News alleging that Ruby had been made to believe that Hildebrandt had the insight to offer a path to continual improvement. In reality, the firm claimed that Hildebrandt took advantage of this quest and twisted it into something heinous. About 2 months later, Ruby returned to court Tuesday morning for a sentencing hearing that precluded what otherwise promised to be a high-profile trial, outlining the demise of a woman who had built her career on giving parenting advice to 2.5 million YouTube followers. And now, before we leave, we'd like to remind you to subscribe to this channel, give us a thumbs up if you like our video, give us your thoughts in the comment section below, and of course, if you want to support the channel, you can go ahead and buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/TCNS. And of course, we'd also like to announce that you can call into the show, give us your thoughts on the topics we covered, give us your takes, even give us your hot takes on cases that are ongoing. You can call us at 682-305-0483. That's 682-305-0483. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll catch you.